This is our picture.
You know if our jacket looks good.
ანუ თქვენ დაიწყებთ ხო პირდაპირ?
როგორც გენებოთ. მე დავიწყებ. კარგი, თქვენ მზად ხართ?
კი, ანუ ჩვენ მზად ვართ, ჩაწერაზე გაშვებულია და შეგიძლია პირდაპირ დაიწყოთ ლაპარაკი და ჩაიწერება.
ბატონო, მე მირჩევნია ელენემ თქვას რამოდენიმე სიტყვა მისალმების ინგლისურად და მე დავიწყებ.
ანუ ელენეს არ არის, ანუ სხვა ჩაწერა აქვს და ამისთვის ანუ მომზადებული არ იყო ამ გადაცემისთვის რომ უნდა ჩაეწერა, არ იცოდა თვითონ თუ უნდა წაიყვანა.
არ არის პრობლემა. იგენაცვალე, კარგი, მაშინ დავიწყებ. We don't have any particular format, so we can have this meeting as usual. And this is recorded. Whatever that we don't need, they will cut, so we will do good. So, Bob, I was talking to you about
yes,
us, what we are doing, what we are trying to do, and how important it is for Georgia, and Georgian people, for peace in Georgia, and actually in the region too. That's why we have Mr. Victor here with us, who represents Russian side, and also Kazakhstan, as he told us. Today, representatives from 4 republics, North Caucasian republics, came to Tbilisi, and they are asking us to help them to get projects. And the letters are supported by government of these regions. So we are growing. Yesterday, Loretta, I had conversation with Azerbaijanians, and they are reviewing our offer, and we will have solid answers maybe in 2 weeks maximum. So, will you start, Karen?
Oh, what's
let's talk about how many projects we already received.
Oh, we have right now I think about 30 that are in the pipeline that we are trying to fit to grant writers and to funding sources. Yeah, and some of those are very big and some of those are small, but we're right now at about 30.
Okay, and I have very good news. We counted yesterday, and we have 1,200 small projects in Georgia. Total budget will be around $35 million. And we are sorting them as the directions, for example, agriculture or education or some others. And we're gonna start looking for funding for these small projects.
Right.
is USAID involved?
Yes, and not
a
only.
possible source of funding?
They're one.
Yes, USAID and other funders too.
Other foundations, and perhaps even organizations like DFID.
Like what?
DFID.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Bob are planning to go to, how can I say, to be correct, to people.
The region.
Yes, people who are in charge of fundings and they can make rules and laws, and we will try to help us as much as we can.
The European Union might be a good source for funding too.
Yeah.
Yes, and I have a couple of very good friends who I contacted about 6 months ago, and they said they will participate and they will help us.
Okay.
As soon as we let them know that we are ready, they will step in.
Okay.
Now, what is our organization? What we decided to do, Loretta? We created new company, ZIDF, that's the name of the company, who will be umbrella for all of us. And we will do whatever we can do on our sides, and it will be collected under that umbrella. Loretta Harrington, this wonderful nice-looking lady. He's a very how can I say? She's been in Georgia 5 times. So you can understand how mobile she is, and she's always there. And I'm calling her day or night, and she's always answering. And we are participating very good, very well. And she has a factory for wheelchairs. And one of these factories was built in Georgia already. And we are planning to do the same thing in Azerbaijan. We have verbal okay from the government of Azerbaijan, and we are waiting now for written agreement between us. They asked us to send them offer. It was not offer, but we explained them what we can do and what we want to do. And they are asking us to build infrastructure for those wheelchairs, and it could end up with pretty big project. Why don't you say something about this, Loretta?
About the wheelchair project?
About yourself
Okay.
and project, sure.
All right. I'm with the World Institute on Disability. I've been with them for 6 years. Prior to that, I was in government, and I had my last assignment was in the Office of Disability Employment Policy at the Department of Labor. So I transitioned out of government into the NGO community and done myself with World Institute on Disability. We are an international consulting firm, and we consult with anyone and everyone who is interested in including people with disabilities in their projects. The wheelchair project that David talked about was a 5-year USAID funded project where we teamed up with the local disability community, we call them DPOs, and with Whirlwind Wheelchair International, who was our designer. They helped us design the facility, design the wheelchairs, repair facilities, so it was build and repair, and then we extended it into motorized wheelchairs before the project was concluded after 5 years, and customized seating for wheelchair users, which is incredibly important because wheelchair users get what they get spots. So the seating is incredibly important to eliminate medical. Georgia, and we're looking to get back to Georgia on a new project with David on an amazing project funded by the U.S. Embassy. We are the technical advisors, so we can inform the team in Georgia and here what steps need to be taken to include the disability community in that age population in the pilot project. So we've had a number of years of experience in the former Soviet Union countries many years ago, and we have done media abroad. In Syria is one of the countries. And so our international presence has kind of taken a different tact. And everything that we've learned here in the United States as a best practice, we're able to take that best practice and put it in place, knowing the cultural sensitivities of the countries that we go into. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, sure. Victor, what would you like to say about
Oh, there's a bunch of things. My background is storytelling. I work for a bank, I work for a leasing company, for international investment fund. And find the projects is not a problem. The problem will be select projects. We will be overwhelmed with projects. right products when we start working and need to advertise the business. So I'm right now I'm just we need to work on criteria. So that's
How do you think, how many projects you would be able to supply us with how many a year?
well, the thing is, I'm pretty technical about finance because I was a loan officer at some point. So I kind of, I'm sorry if I'm going too technical about it. The first we need the criteria. So what would be the biggest loan, let's say loan grant? So what kind of businesses we shouldn't do at all?
You are talking about
So,
higher and lower limits?
Yes, by loan limits. And how would we look at the impact to the society? So what kind of products which you should accept or not accept? So I need the criteria. Right now I have 3-4 products I can do right now, which is infrastructure products. Nobody will go in a reasonable amount of money in $500,000. So I have people it's not about I can bring more than that. You just tell me what you bring.
Of course, of course.
What are the funders interested in? The foundations and USAID, do they have an emphasis?
They'll individually have their own specific emphases, but in general, it should be something that serves the public good, as opposed to something that is for personal profit.
And as I know, there are no limits, and there is there are no preferences. What?
Yeah.
If it serves people and helps people, everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
So USAID is a program for Afghanistan. The concept papers are due at the end of this month, but for grants, the beginning of next year. And they want to have create jobs for Afghans. So
Sure.
they job intensive. So they finished doing projects of infrastructure, so they want to create jobs.
All of us.
Yeah.
We want that too, very much.
Okay.
In Georgia, unemployment is very high, very high. I
Really?
don't even want to say number how high it is because I am ashamed. And all these projects, what we are doing for people, for farmers, for example, to find something, some sources to live. That's where we are in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we are collecting small projects with $3,000, $5,000 to build something for themselves, farms or whatever.
But even the infrastructure grants have those projects hire a lot of people to make those things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Also, I want to talk about the festival we have on August 14th. There is festival, and it is dedicated to refugee families, and participants are kids from those families. And we are inviting about 700 different companies to help them as the donors, and whatever money we will collect, it will go towards some small projects or some organizations who are built to help. That's what we are doing, and they need our help a lot. And we're going to create letter saying that we are supporting, we are one of organizers, and we will do our best. If we will be able to find some funding, we will. If not, those donors and those companies will help us a lot. So that's what it is as of today. And John Klein could not come, but we are working also in Abkhazia. We have 10 hectares of land for our oyster project. And we are preparing all paperwork, what we need from Abkhazian side, licensing and permits and everything. And we are looking for funds. We need about $8 to $10 million to start very serious business there, which will make at least $150 million a year profit. And for that small country, Abkhazia is a couple hundred miles across, and
How many
less,
people? How many?
300,000 population. It's not. And compared to $150 million, and it will be
Mainly for export?
yes, export, and we have buyers already, buyers lined up. Some of them will go to Russia, some of them will go to Europe. We can supply Americans too. So marketing is done.
Black Sea oysters. I look forward to that on the market.
Yes, and Black Sea oysters, we did a lot of research and we discovered that Black Sea oysters are the best in the world.
I've read that.
That's what we are planning to do.
Your oysters are extra good because of the way you grow them. They're bigger and
Exactly. They are much bigger than any others and much more tastier than any others. So that's what we needed for today. We just met, and Bob will be involved in this very deeply. He will be part of our organization. Karen will be with us too. In FIDF. I said IDF. And then we're gonna work very hard to get as much money for Georgia as we can.
Does USAID have a grant program for Georgia?
There are lots of them.
What
In the
is
past,
What do you think?
I know.
things are coming online now. Good. Okay. So I only know what I see.
I know. I shouldn't say this, but I have some inside information which will be cut out. It's for us.
I just know what I see
Yeah.
in the public domain.
Do you have a USA office for them?
Yes, we have.
I think there's a mission director of the USAID.
Exactly, yes. There is office in Georgia, and yeah. Georgia was getting a lot, was getting a lot, but
I know they have to work.
I know. But in Georgia, it was disaster. Minimum 60%, minimum. What I am learning now, you cannot imagine what was happening there. Then 40% was going to Georgia, right? Out of those 40%, another 60 or 70% was going for training. And just nothing left for people. Nothing.
And I'm sure.
Absolutely, and people are begging me to say about this and let USAID know about this, and we will do everything what we can to make them understand where money was going. Training for nothing. Trainees are poor people coming from far away. They don't have place to stay. And who is coming to teach them? They live in 5-star hotel, spending thousands and thousands, and all that money was going for champagne and then oysters.
And wine.
Yes.
Are the trainers basically American?
From all over the world. They are all different, but it is ruled and by Jordan. I know people are getting in Georgia members of government. This will be cut, absolutely, but $120 million doing nothing at all, nothing.
Yeah, there's another problem that needs to be developed. Because when we run U.S. Vietnam Trade Council of Washington D.C., all the money is coming through the office of the chief national. So, and we worked with a person in Vietnam in the U.S. Embassy. All applications were going through that, but money was coming from out. And we distributed as much money we needed just for the programs in Vietnam. So this kind of control, if you just put money there, I guess it's kind of strange.
Victor, I will tell you, a few months ago, it was 3 or 4 months ago, we created a group and sent them to Georgia to check how USAID was working there, how flexible it was, how much money was going for people. And the commission came very, very upset.
Mm-hmm.
Very upset. They came back with bad news.
Even with our project,
every country,
it was an issue.
anywhere you go,
Absolutely.
we go to Haiti, we have sent over that. If you put their money, again, maybe put it for good for somebody, but it's not good. You just have to control it.
Because there was no management. There was no people who will go and check how project is going on. You remember what happened to your project?
Right.
And only organization, only person who passed that exam, I would say, was Bela Tatek. She should show everything and prove what she had done in 15 days, and she did it in 1 day because everything was clean and transparent.
Her organization has a very good record with USAID over many years. We had a similar problem with the wheelchair project. We had to send a team over almost every quarter from California.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, they did not do the final audit. So USAID withheld the final payment. And they had no choice. But getting the people in the country to understand the reporting requirements was the biggest challenge we had. So we had to pull it back. We had to manage it from the home office with on-site visits.
Mhm.
That was the only way we could get through the USAID accountability piece. And we were able to get the project extended for 2 years based on good financial reporting and accountability. But it's a tremendous effort, no matter where we go with what we do.
Exactly. And we are changing. We are changing it. I can promise that people like Lela Kakachia will be in charge of everything. They are talking to people and they are listening to people. That's very important.
And that's part of the structure of how it works. We are connecting grants to grant writers and funding sources, but organizations like Layla's are on the ground doing those on-site inspections and making sure that the accounting is done. So we don't have to send somebody. We have people from partner organizations to do that.
Yeah, it's the ground.
And whenever we put our budget together, we look at it in terms of how can we minimally support the staff here in the United States
Exactly.
and move as much of the budget out to the DPOs in the field. We do things remotely. Yes, we'd like to meet our team in the country. We don't stay in 5 stars. In fact, we look to friends to come home, help us out. But being the organization, and we know the needs are so great on the other end in that community, we will do whatever we can conservatively and still support the mission. And with technology, we can do quite a bit. But when it comes to on-site audits, that's very difficult.
And we've been negotiating new contracts with country partners to make sure to push as much money into the program as possible.
Well, we are like-minded in that. I mean, we don't need to be staying in high-end places. So we need to be.
As a matter of fact, normally when I travel abroad for work, I end up in hotels where I get food poisoning.
Karen, that's not good.
No, but it's really good for weight loss.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
Requires no discipline.
I'm Bob Kelly.
I'm John Klein.
And you met about 5 years ago.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
it's been some time. The Wisher project.
Yes.
Mhm. The Holiday Inn across the street.
Yes.
No, me and John been in Bob's office too.
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes.
remember.
Yes.
Now we have another situation in Georgia. Some energy companies are building high voltage cables right above people's houses, and it is dangerous. And Georgians are asking us. They are asking John to create a group which will go there and check how this construction is going and what impact it has on people. And I think his group is almost ready, right, John?
Yes, we had a meeting earlier this week concerning the makeup of the team and the various expertise we're going to need, the various monitoring of the existing power lines and the proposed route areas.
These are transmission lines?
Mm-hmm. Basically, we're tying Russia together with Iran, crossing north-south across the country.
So we would love to inform Georgians that John's group is ready, and we are waiting for Georgian government now to raise funds for this commission to go and do their job. We have letter from Ministry of Health. They are saying they will participate and they will be with them. It's very good. We are raising now, we are collecting signatures of people who are in danger to explain to government that they are not alone and we are helping. And I think the government will participate in that. They will not step back into this.
How about the solar projects and renewable energy in Georgia? Because the big problem for solar is transmission lines. If they already exist, that's great. So the Georgian government needs to pay for electricity that goes into the grid.
Correct. They pay a tariff or whatever to use the
Yeah.
transmission infrastructure. So they could, in fact, we looked some time ago at the use of microgrids to tie together various sustainable alternatives to energy generation. Because one of the things that we're looking at 4 years ago, but we're looking at hydropower, not the traditional hydropower, but in the stream power turbines. That, and also where we're looking at putting the agriculture facility, they could have a potential for hydrodynamic generation due to the surface differential and the flush and push of the Black Sea. So there are, alternatives. The trick is to be able to develop the correct microgrid in order to optimize time of day. And they also have significant flow through a number of their streams in the country. They don't find in those valleys, so it's potential there as well.
Is the transmission lines, they go to every apartment building or every,
No, these are the main trunk lines.
Okay. Between Russia and Iran and transit Georgia?
It is foreign from Russia.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is not serving Georgia. It's just money maker.
There is maybe some potential we could bleed off of that, but
Okay.
What else can we say now? Do we have any news about these projects, Karen, and how many are already submitted?
One's been submitted and we're waiting for a response. There's one in process
It's Leila's project, right?
that we're working with Leila, yeah. And other ones, they're still in preparation. And some we're looking for grant writers. Actively, it's a daily occupation, is looking for more grant writers.
Oh, yes, and I wanted to ask this question a long time ago. Where we are with this new project, with media?
You probably know that better than I do. I get copied on those emails.
Where we are is, David, we need some assistance from you, and Lola.
Mm-hmm.
Musico, also, Sarah and I, the grant writer, are talking generally about the design of the project. We have a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And we really should begin firming up the project design very soon.
Yes.
Before. Our budget is done for WID, which we can talk about offline. And my director is coming in next week to Washington. So Musico, am I saying her name correctly?
Yes.
But she is very knowledgeable, at least from the Skype call that we had a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Lola is as well. It's just the English part of it. We need to sit down and really delve into what they can do for us. Excuse me. For example, how are we going to find 16 to 24-year-olds? We can go to universities, we can go to high school. Lola has the disability community piece, but she also has, I think, the ability to reach out to the non-disabled community.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we're going to need to identify, David, the TV and radio stations where we're going to be working, and how are we going to capture the data? How are we going to capture the input to show the embassy that there has been an improvement in this age group, that they can say, this is propaganda and this is the truth. Mm-hmm. If this were easy, they would be doing it. But they're asking, third party to do this. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And the role of social media is incredibly important in Georgia. iPhones are common. And television, for those that are not in the community, is incredible. The disabled population is a key piece. Mm-hmm. My friends tell me that talk radio is not as popular in Georgia as it is here, but we have to design the project. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do when we find the students? We're working with teachers, professors at universities, journalists, broadcasters.
I will make you very happy. I'm sorry.
I need to be happy because when I get to this point, I get a little concerned because of the design questions.
That's not a problem, because co-owner of this television, Georgia Satriani, he is participating with the biggest university of Georgia, Polytechnical University.
Oh, yes.
And we have unlimited source to be involved with students. That's one thing. Another one is our partner, Levan Geraze, has a very high relationship with Abkhazian University, and we can get them involved too. So we are very good. And television is here.
Remember that broadcaster that we talked about? We used to have a show on Georgia. It was like a common show talking about how to identify what's true and what's not true.
Yes.
She needs that name too.
Oh, yes, yes.
We can have the contact information of the individual who just talked about Sarah, because she's essentially in the same time zone in Moscow, can start talking and getting the data that she needs, because she's sitting and waiting for the input from the team.
It's done. Tomorrow we will have Skype conference with Georgia Satriani, with Leila, with Susan, and we will talk.
Sarah.
We will finish this.
Great. Oh, great. Okay.
I promise you.
Okay. Thank you. I know my piece is done, but I need to know how we're going to fit in. Mm-hmm. One thing that we know that Lela's going to have to do is reach out to the disabled community, the IDPs, and the low skilled. That's part of who we have to reach out to. And bring them in to this. We need to have money for sign language interpreters, And we need to have money for what we call audio description of any video that we do for the blind.
Mhm.
I know Pata over at United Blind of Georgia very well. Layla knows everybody in that country. So for us to get the deaf, the blind, and the mobile wheelchair users as part of this, the added benefit of what we're doing here is that the Georgian society will be sitting next to someone that has a disability, which is what we want as an added benefit because they've been outside of
Life.
of life.
Mhm.
Yes, of life. He's right. So finding a student with a disability in a school in Georgia is not common. So that's where Layla comes in, and there's no doubt in my mind that she can do this for us.
She said tomorrow, on Friday, she will be ready for you. So she's preparing something, obviously.
Do you want me on a Skype call?
Yeah, why not? Of course.
Just let me know. I have a couple of times that are spoken for. So.
I will call them right after this, and I will let you know when.
Morning is good for me.
Morning is better for everybody.
For them as well, yes. I mean, even if it's 8 o'clock, if we're on Skype, I can connect right to my office.
This time, between 10 and 12 is good for them because it's 7, 8, 9 p.m.
We
So.
can work it out. I know I have 11:30, so we can work this out and get Sarah engaged. She's done a very good job so far. Our grant, she's quite good. Really is quite good. And she knows the region.
Do we have any progress with the Fabian Ulster project?
I don't know. I don't have any on that.
Okay. And I'm so sorry, Ambassador could not come today.
He's due in an hour.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah, he had originally planned to come in at 11, but they have the air conditioning fixed at his building, so he decided to stay there till 1.
And also, I need from you then that letter for the festival and letter for the.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss any.
Yeah.
For Lela to go there.
Yes. Well, I will do that. So we're done here.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So that's it for today, right?
I guess.
Me and Bob have to go to
Fort Myer Officers Club.
Officers Club. and-
Nice stuff.
At least it's not fun.
Yeah. You're on the right street.
I think our address is a nice address.
Yeah.
Sometimes people complain that they have to have a DC address. Like our neighbor is the State Department and Department of Defense. I think that's fine
And
company.
Officers Club, of
Right.
course.
Yes, I think we're in fine company.
I'm sorry I was so late.
It's okay, Jen.
One red block several times.
Yes.
Found the kind of place to
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And next time, I think we'll go to University Club and have something there.
All right.
Great.
Yes, and what I wanted to say, I want to invite Mr. Tucker, Bill Tucker, because he has huge experience in working with youth and disability, and all these subjects are very, very good for him because he is like vision. And he will be another participant of our team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Aka, it's recorded.